Looking good. Day 5. So we start off and we think, yeah. Get lined up to the hole, dig some out, and oops. It was actually the hydraulic hose that releases the lock on the bucket that split. So that was a bit of a worry. Didn't know how long this would take to fit or fix. Made various phone calls, tried to get someone. Got Paula. Tried to get someone to come out and fix it, but there's no one really who would come and do it. I think it would have been quite expensive to do it that way. Paula went home, got some tools, and we decided we were going to take the hose off, take it to a little place in Farnham that does that sort of work. In fact, it turns out being on the site of where a friend of ours' father used to run an engineering business. And the guy doing the hydraulic hoses remembered him. So yeah, these two hoses, I think they cost about £100. And they were easy enough to fit. Just had to move the linkages out of the way and bolt them on, tighten them up, clear up all the mess. We're very keen to avoid too much stuff like oil and plastic getting into the site. I mean, we want to live here and we want it to be as clean as possible. And that has been a long-term, ongoing fight, picking up tiny bits of plastic and persuading the builders that if they don't want it, we don't want it. Rubbish is rubbish. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sure it's very useful, intelligent information. So anyway, we got it back on, tightened it up. So the next step is to make sure that where it can bend in different angles, it doesn't rub on the bits that move. Otherwise, it could get damaged very easily. So once I get this back together, we'll get a good look at that. So main pin goes in, holds that. Afraid this is a bit slow. Having a look to see if it is doing any damage. Paula's moving the bucket, so I'm watching to make sure it's okay and it's got a clearance. That seems alright. By chance, we seem to have got it in exactly the right position. Just got to clear up, clean up a bit more oil, put our stuff away, get back to digging. So this trench that's been dug here, the ground is kind of a bit odd, and we ended up having to dig some of this down a bit further. When the building control saw it, they didn't like the look of how we dug it, so we did have to actually dig a bit more. Carol and Keith come to have a look what's going on. The bit that, as far as I can reach, is deeper. It's joined onto the bit closest to the camera. I think that was 1.85 meters deep. So then there's a step up, but the step up has to be 800 millimeters away from the corner. So that's why we're digging very carefully with Paula watching, because I can't see from there, the soil's in the way. This is the bucket. I think we decided it would probably be more useful if we took the teeth off later. So in one of the videos later on, we take the teeth off that bucket. Makes it easier to do a smooth bottom, because you don't want to dig deeper in a foundation, because you're trying to make sure the bottom of the trench is as solid as possible. All this funny little micro digging is also to do with trying to not disturb the larger rocks because they'll pull a big lump out of the ground, which will need more concrete. Have these little dances every time we move position, because we need to be digging in the right alignment, also not driving over any of the pins that are marking out the features we need to dig. And if we've drawn a line on the ground to show us where we're going to dig, we can't rub that out until we've used it. And just driving over it is enough to rub out those paint lines on the ground. And that results in quite a lot of strange looking digging, rather than if you were just digging a service trench in an approximate alignment, it'd probably be much faster. And it's making a bit of a flat place to sit to dig from a different angle now. The corners are easy to break out as well. If you just pull that soil towards the digger, it will just break a chunk out of the corner. So just digging it very gently and pushing it as well as pulling it, so it's got less likely to break the corner out. I'm sure proper builders don't do this. I'm sure they just dig it as fast as they can, not worry about how big they make the trench. And you can see, look, we've got a stepped up bit and then a step back down a bit. That's the bit we ended up digging out. Building control said that bit of soil wasn't what they were looking for, so we dug down further. That's quite a deep hole. I think that's about 1.6 metres that other side. And yeah, that's the end of that day. Got the camera up on a piece of stick, I think. Got a high view.